Alright guys, so in order to block the arms in Flesh and Bones version, what you can do here is to add a cylinder like that, you know, make sure that the cylinder is coming into the axils, right uh, right above, right under the deltoids, and and notice that I've made kind of a rotation. So two things that is also important is, let me turn on the local symmetry, center my pivot, right, and I have to place this cylinder uh, until the same height of the last rib over here, and also this rib, this mark here is unnecessary, I guess. Let me use less intensity and just make some adjustments over here on the chest, on the rib cage and those muscles and obliques, right? Okay, they were just too much marked and kind of weird. I didn't like it so much, but it's better now. Good. So coming back to the arms, uh, you're gonna place a cylinder just right until the last rib in the rib cage in the same height. So after this, yeah, you have to make sure that the cylinder is going under the axils and under the deltoids that we've made here. The deltoid, the thing that is most important is to make sure that we have the anterior head, coming out from this last third of the clavicle. So if we divided the clavicle in, like three shapes, like that, making this S shape like that. So the deltoids will come out from this one, which will be the same third of the trapezius muscle. Okay, so here we're gonna have the lateral head of deltoid, and from here, from the spine of scapula, we're gonna have the posterior head, right? Oops, sorry. It will be just like that. Here you have the acromion, which will be kind of an empty space in the silhouette, and it also makes a break, a nice break that we have here from the curvature of trapezius muscles and the beginning of deltoids, right? Yeah. So once positioned our cylinder, notice that this part will be the elbow in this region. So the elbow, one of the trick is to position the elbow to the same height of the last rib, right? So if once we have those ribs here, sorry, I've made too much, but we're gonna have this point, which will be the elbows, and here we're gonna position a box, a rectangle that will be the forearm, right? So let's do it. Will be the structure where we're gonna build the forearm. So here I don't even use an append. I will insert mesh. Let me find. I'm gonna use choose a brush that is default on ZBrush, which is this IMM primitives, insert multi-mesh primitives. So I'm gonna choose cube, and I can drag and drop one over here, and then now I can position it and scale it just right as I want the forearms. So the trick here is to think the size of this box just in the same of the wrist. You know, you're gonna think this region as the wrist, and all those muscles are gonna come over this box. Okay, so position it into the gesture. Think on the elbow shape over there, and then with Alt key you can always change the place of gizmo, right? So from here I'm trying to create some gesture line to make, you know, the elbows more on the back of the character, so its arm gonna be most like that, you know. So the elbow, you should think into this region. If we have the lumbar over there, so the elbow will be on the back, will be behind the lumbar, after the lumbar here. Okay, so this will create a nice gesture line for the character, and yeah, for an A pose, I think is a nice way to don't create the character so stuck, you know. Yeah, so let's continue by looking from the front view. As we could remember, is, let me show you those proportions. Okay, so here in our PureHef file, we're gonna have this region where we can check all the proportions, and something that we can see here is that we're gonna have the same height of the wrist. We're gonna have the half of our character, you know, just right over the it's not the pubic bone, is the ischius. I don't know if, yeah, the iliac yeah, I'm not sure how do we say that in English, but you know, this region. So let's try here. Good. So I'm thinking here to the end, almost kind of the end of the pubic bone, and I also gonna duplicate this box. So I'm gonna push another one, and from this another one I'm gonna create the hand after. So let me better position it. And in this case I'm thinking already on the pose, but just starting to position it, not so careful, just to have a look on the character's life, you know, just in order to don't make it looking so stuck. Yeah, I could actually make like this for the fingers. And let me hide, or actually separate this into another subtool, and let me first start with the arms. Here we have different, so I'm gonna do a mirror and weld and recover the symmetry, and the same here. Oops, not with this local symmetry turned on. Mirror and weld, there we can always find mirror and weld into the geometry palette, and going over here the mirror and weld. Okay, so here I'm gonna turn on once again the symmetry, and yeah, this one I will make it more into a straight line, and according to the floor, you know, and more like that. Good. So, let's keep it visible like this and drop a little bit. Okay. So now we can do a Dynamesh on it, and then start to sculpt. So here I would first start by adding the biceps muscle. You know, the biceps going into the interior part of the character, not exactly to the front, you know, more into a diagonal shape. I add it with a clay buildup brush, and then I can move this volume, because let me recalculate the Dynamesh, and then let me add more thickness on it. And thinking on a more round shape for the biceps. So one thing that is nice to take care on the biceps is that it will actually be on the right box of the anterior head of deltoid over there, and so it will be actually in the same height, not overdoing the biceps, like crossing this, because it won't look so aesthetic. The better thing is to mark like this, you know, the same height of deltoid, the anterior deltoid. And also another thing that is quite nice to think on the biceps is that it could fit on a box like this, and then you're gonna cut the symmetry, not the symmetry, you're gonna cut the silhouette, into the beginning and into the end. So you're gonna make this corners. You're gonna cut the corners just like that. Okay, so you'll be with this kind of shape, right? This is most of the time the format for biceps. And then we can go into the back and start by adding the triceps form. And for the triceps, what we're gonna have here is kind of an arrow shape. We can add the long head of triceps over this way, and then not the long head. This one will be the lateral head, this part, and then we're gonna add this another part over here that will be the long head. Okay, and then we're gonna have this last one that will be the medial head. Think on the medial, everything that is closer to the center of the body, and lateral, everything that is far from the center, right? And then here into this lateral head, we're gonna have just a little shape here as a tiny tail, just like that. So once you look into this shape, you can easily find a crab leg shape, you know. So in all the angles, you can try to find this crab leg shape, and it will be the format for the triceps, because right into the center we're gonna have the tendon, right? So I'm gonna show you better on some reference, and then you can agree with me into this comparison, I think, because it's also a nice way to memorize the shape of triceps. And yeah, look the way how I am adding those the volume for the triceps. Here I have to enter into the solo mode because no, here I have to correct its shape. Its shape is not so over like that. And let me raise up this form. So here I will sculpt once again. Let me update the Dynamesh, and I will sculpt the triceps and its tendons. Let me add the tendons. Notice that the tendons won't go exactly into the direction of the head of humerus. It will be more into this direction. Let me show you. Into this direction, more kind of into a diagonal. So once you find the head of humerus over here, and here you're gonna have the base of humerus with the two epicondyles, the lateral epicondyle and the medial one, and in the middle we're gonna have the olecranon, which is the elbow. Olecranon is this region on the ulna bone, right? So yeah, let's quick save that, and yeah, we can continue on to the next lecture.